Welcome back to my channel, The Historic State. Before we enter the rigid, unforgiving world of the military establishment, a world where rank is law and arrogance often masks deep-seated insecurity, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe right now. Your support is the only fuel that keeps these high-stakes, real-life dramas of quiet authority and ultimate professional justice in production. Today we dive into a moment of spectacular, public professional humiliation that unfolded on a highly secured army installation. We examine the story of Colonel Malcolm Vance, a man whose entire existence was defined by his 3 golden eagles and his rigid, aggressive sense of command. And we look at Captain Elara Kane, a newly arrived officer he immediately dismissed as low-ranking, inexperienced, and utterly disposable. Vance, blinded by his own toxic authority, physically assaulted her during an inspection. He was catastrophically, immediately, and career-endingly wrong. When the secure line from the Pentagon pierced the silence, the entire base learned the terrifying truth. The woman he had just violated was not merely a captain at all, but a 4-star general on a covert observation mission, and the heir to a military dynasty. Our scene is the main parade ground of Fort Sterling, a massive, highly disciplined army post. Colonel Malcolm Vance was the installation commander, a man notorious throughout the Corps for his micromanagement, his fiery temper, and his utter contempt for anyone below the pay grade of his own ego. He believed authority was not just granted, it had to be violently and loudly asserted. An focal point of his simmering rage this morning was Captain Elara Kane. She had just arrived for what was listed in the manifest as a Special Forces liaison duty. She was quiet, efficient, and impeccably presented, yet she moved with a reserved economy that Vance instantly interpreted as insubordination and disrespect. For Vance, Captain Kane was just another junior officer he could bully into absolute submission. And during morning inspection, Vance moved down the line, finding aggressive fault with every single soldier. When he reached Captain Kane, he stopped. He boomed. "Captain Kane, your uniform is technically within regulation, but your demeanor is utterly sloppy. There is no fire in your belly. Look at me when I speak to you. If you can't assert your presence in my formation, how dare you believe you can command a platoon in the field?" Elara met his furious gaze with an unnervingly calm, steady look. She replied softly, professionally, "Sir, my focus is currently on absorbing the mission parameters, not asserting dominance." This answer, this absolute, unflappable lack of fear, sent Vance into a spiral of blind, uncontrollable rage. He decided he needed to publicly break her instantly to re-establish his absolute control over the formation. Vance did the unthinkable, an action that instantly broke every military code of conduct. He raised his hand and violently grabbed Captain Kane by her hair, yanking her head back slightly. His face was a mask of furious, entitled power. hissed at her. "You do not talk back to a colonel, Captain. You are here to follow orders and blend in. You have no idea who I am or what I command here. Now, step out of the formation and report to my office for immediate disciplinary action." Entire parade ground froze. Every soldier, officer, and NCO stared in stunned, horrified silence. Physical violation of a commissioned officer, regardless of gender, was a court-martial offense. Every single witness waited for Captain Kane to shriek, to struggle, or to cry out. Captain Kane did not react in the way he expected. She did not struggle. She did not cry out. Her body remained perfectly, frighteningly still. The only thing that changed was the expression in her eyes. The calm left her face, replaced by an intensity so cold, so deep, that it momentarily stunned the colonel. It was the absolute, final look of a predator who had just decided the fate of its victim. Just as Vance was about to drag her away, the base's internal communication system crackled to life. The sound was the sharp, piercing tone of the highest secure frequency, a sound rarely heard outside the most sensitive offices of the Pentagon. The secure channel instantly overrode the base's entire communication network. The voice was authoritative, stressed, and brutally final. intercom boomed. "Colonel Vance, Colonel Malcolm Vance, you are ordered to immediately acknowledge and stand down. This is a secure channel override from the Office of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Colonel Vance instantly released Captain Kane's hair. He stood trembling, his uncontrolled rage instantly replaced by icy, profound dread. The secure channel override was an unprecedented, terrifying action. He scrambled to his radio to respond. NHE stammered. "This is Colonel Vance. I acknowledge." "What is the nature of this override, sir?" NNTHE intercom voice replied, brutally direct. "Colonel, your current action has compromised a critical, classified security operation. You are ordered to step 3 paces back from Captain Elara Kane, place your hands on your head, and wait for the arrival of the Chief of Staff's security detail. Do not move, Colonel." Vance, now utterly terrified of the unseen authority, followed the order, stumbling back from Elara. He looked back at her. Her hair was now slightly disheveled, but her demeanor was returning to her unnerving calm. A high-speed helicopter, clearly marked with the Joint Chiefs of Staff insignia, suddenly landed right on the parade ground. Out stepped a Major General and a high-ranking political aide. The Major General immediately went straight to Captain Kane, ignoring the trembling colonel entirely. NNTHE Major General did not salute her. Instead, he simply bowed his head in a gesture of absolute respect and whispered, "General, are you injured? We tracked the security protocol breach the moment the physical alert was triggered." NNTHE, entire parade ground, gasped in unison. "General?" NNTHE Major General then turned to the assembled stunned formation and used the bullhorn to make the announcement that instantaneously and forever shattered Colonel Vance's world. NHE announced, "Attention! The officer standing before you, who has been operating under the cover rank of Captain Elara Kane, is in fact General Elara Kane. She is here on a classified, covert assignment to audit operational efficiency and command integrity. She holds 4 stars and reports directly to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff." NNTHE Major General then looked directly at the trembling Colonel Vance and added, with the weight of the entire Pentagon in his voice, "And furthermore, Colonel Vance, General Elara Kane is the daughter of the current Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Tobias Kane. Your physical assault on her seconds ago triggered a Level 1 security breach at the Pentagon. You are immediately relieved of command, arrested, and you will be escorted from this base for an immediate court-martial." Colonel Vance stared at the woman he had just violated. Not a low-ranking captain, but a 4-star general, the highest active rank in the U.S. military, and the daughter of the most powerful man in the defense establishment. His aggressive rage was gone, replaced by the profound, icy horror of absolute, immediate professional ruin. Ning General Elara Kane simply adjusted her collar, her eyes conveying the silent, crushing weight of unassailable authority. She was a silent master of both covert intelligence and public command. She spoke just 2 words to the Major General: "Process him." NNHER quiet brilliance taught the colonel, and the hundreds of frozen soldiers on the parade ground, a crushing, unforgettable lesson. Never mistake quiet focus for weakness, and never, ever violate the sanctity of rank. The true power structure is not always the one you can see. The woman who moves with the least noise often holds the most terrifying, unassailable command. NNT thank you for watching The Historic State. If this incredible story of hidden rank, shattered arrogance, and the final crushing moment of professional justice moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us, what is the most important lesson a commander needs to learn? Because here, we believe that the greatest weapon is not the uniform, but the absolute authority of the powerful mind within it.